Did Judge Torres just signal the end of the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit? And are you seriously missing out on the massive catalyst lining up to send XRP to the moon? Catalyst the market is completely ignoring right now? Because what I'm about to show you could be the biggest game changer for XRP holders we've seen in years. Welcome back to the Gold Rush Crypto Daily. If you're part of our close-knit crypto family, you know we don't just talk about the news here. We rip it apart, dissect it, and tell you exactly what it means for your portfolio. Whether you're just dipping your toes into crypto or you've been battling in these trenches for years. Today, we're going high energy, high impact, and we're covering two of the hottest topics that could literally reshape your crypto future. We're talking about the latest, and potentially final, twist in the XRP legal saga, and then we're diving headfirst into some seriously bullish XRP catalysts that have been flying completely under the radar. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for every single second of this, because the insights I'm about to drop are pure gold. Let's kick things off with this absolutely fascinating article from Times Tabloid, titled, Ripple, XRP versus SEC, Legal Expert Predicts When Judge Torres Will Make a Ruling. Now, you know the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit has been the crypto community's never-ending soap opera. It's been dragging on for years, keeping XRP shackled. But what if I told you the final curtain call could be just around the corner? This article is buzzing about a recent supplemental letter filed by Ripple in support of its motion for an indicative ruling. And according to legal expert Fred Rispoli, this seemingly small move could actually trigger the next, and quite possibly final, phase of this entire case. Rispoli reacts to Ripple's supplemental letter. Now, this letter was first disclosed by the legendary former federal prosecutor, James K. Fillon. And Rispoli, in his typically blunt style, shared on X, and I quote, at 1.5 pages, "This is not the strongest attempt, but it's an attempt." Look, I love that honesty. It's short, it's sweet, but Rispoli argues it tackles three long-standing gaps that Ripple absolutely had to confront. The first issue he explains is the role of the appellate court. He says, the district court isn't the end-all of this case. Appellate courts are, and this ends appellate risk. This is huge, folks. Ripple is basically making it crystal clear that any ruling from Judge Torres can be formalized through appellate remand, meaning less procedural uncertainty down the line. They're telling the SEC, we're not playing these games forever. The second issue revolves around the injunction placed on Ripple. Rispoli clarifies, and this is a key takeaway, nothing is really being changed by dissolving the vanilla injunction. The summary judgment ruling remains, and Ripple cannot break the law regardless of the injunction. Think about it. The court already ruled in 2023 that XRP programmatic sales are not securities. So this injunction? It's basically a ghost of regulations past, with little legal weight left. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gash that's already healed. Good riddance. And finally, the third point is a powerful one. Rispoli points out that Ripple's situation is fundamentally different from other crypto firms targeted by the SEC. He notes, Ripple is only in this situation as opposed to the majority of other SEC targets, because SEC chose Ripple years before its attacks on the other industry players. This context is absolutely critical. Ripple has been the SEC's punching bag, the beta tester for their regulatory overreach, long before they went after anyone else. This isn't just about Ripple, it's about setting a precedent for the entire industry. While he admits he's still underwhelmed, Rispoli says he's feeling more optimistic, adding that this move may push us over the line. That line, my friends, is a ruling from Judge Torres that could signal the beginning of the end for this agonizing legal standoff. Now, here's where it gets juicy. A community member at KRN_crypto asked Rispoli if we'd have to wait until August 15th for a decision. And his response? He said, not guaranteed, but highly likely Torres makes a ruling this week or next. This week or next. Let that sink in. He continues, if that happens, then SEC and Ripple will file with the second CIR kit, asking it to remand to make Torres' indicative ruling formalized well before 8/15. This is a massive clarification, folks. That August 15th date, widely misinterpreted as a ruling deadline, is simply a reporting checkpoint. If Judge Torres acts sooner, it could trigger a chain reaction that leads to the case's closure well before that date. We're talking potentially weeks, not months. This could be the moment we've all been waiting for. If you're feeling that rush of excitement like I am, smash that like button right now and let me know in the comments. Do you think Judge Torres will rule this week or next? Give me your bold predictions. What happens after a favorable ruling? Rispoli gives us the lowdown, substantively, but not formally. This means a positive ruling from Torres tells the Second Circuit about the good news. The Second Circuit then sends it back to Torres for formal implementation, and then both parties go back to the appellate court, ask for dismissal, and bam, case over. Look, the procedural steps are technical, yes, but the substance of the matter could be resolved very, very soon. Judge Torres' anticipated ruling could be a major turning point, not just for Ripple, but for the entire crypto industry watching this saga like a hawk. As Rispoli passionately puts it, this may push us over the line. If the court rules in Ripple's favor within the expected timeframe, the SEC versus Ripple saga, which has defined regulatory discourse in crypto since 2020, may soon reach its long-awaited conclusion. And when it does, the floodgates for XRP could truly open. Now, while the legal drama unfolds, let's pivot to something equally critical, the price action of XRP and why the market, in my very strong opinion, is completely undervaluing this asset. Let's dive into this next article from FX Empire, titled, XRP Price Prediction. As consolidation continues, is this a good time to buy XRP? As you can see right here in the article, today's Federal Open Market Committee, or FOMC, meeting could add further volatility. While the consensus is no interest rate change, Jerome Powell's comments always move markets. But even with that short-term uncertainty, XRP's year-to-date performance is still in positive territory, making it the only altcoin in the top 5 with a positive track record during this period. Think about that for a second. While other major altcoins have taken a beating, XRP is holding strong. That's not just luck, my friends, that's underlying strength. Ripple's legal victories, the leadership change at the SEC potentially to a pro-crypto figure like Paul Atkins, a major point I've discussed before on this channel, and a positive outlook regarding an XRP-linked exchange-traded fund, or ETF, have been some of the tailwinds keeping this token afloat. But here's the kicker, and this is where I get really fired up. The article states, the market has downplayed most of XRP's bullish catalysts. Downplayed? They've practically ignored them. This is where the opportunity lies, my friends. First, Ripple launched its first native stablecoin, Ripple USD, or Rlust, and has secured multiple exchange listings. This isn't just some random stablecoin, folks. Rlust strengthens Ripple's bid to become the world's preferred cross-border payments platform, introducing a dollar-pegged digital asset for individuals, institutions, and corporations globally. And listen to this. Rlust's market cap has expanded from $50 million to $450 million since December after top exchanges like Kraken and Bybit listed the token. That's a 900% increase. That's not downplaying. That's outright criminal market ignorance. And it gets better. Circle's USDC can now be stored and transferred via the Ripple network. This is a new use case for the blockchain. And guess what that means? Higher demand for XRP as the required utility token to settle transactions. It's like adding another lane to a superhighway and expecting traffic not to increase. Ripple also obtained a license recently to operate as a digital payments platform in Dubai, and Rlust has been recognized as a legitimate stable asset in the country. Dubai, one of the most forward-thinking regions when it comes to crypto adoption. This isn't small potatoes, people. This is global expansion and regulatory clarity in a key jurisdiction. And then, the cherry on top, the CME Group launched XRP futures recently. This opens the door for institutions to speculate on this asset. And yes, it could pave the way for an XRP-linked ETF that would draw even more liquidity and capital inflows to the token. We're talking institutional money, the big whales that can truly move markets. All of these are strong tailwinds that should have moved XRP's needle significantly. The article correctly points out that the market has been in consolidation for a long period now, but consolidations are also understood as phases of accumulation. This is exactly what we saw before previous massive breakouts. If you're finding this analysis valuable, do me a huge favor and share this video with one friend who needs to hear this. Let's get this alpha out to the masses. And hey, while you're at it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and join the Gold Rush Crypto Daily family. We're building something special here. Now, let's talk technicals. The article mentions, XRP should retest its 200-day EMA soon. XRP has been trading in a tight range for more than 2 weeks, moving between the $2.10 and $2.30 levels. This indicates classic consolidation, a setup for its next big move. The price seems headed to grab some liquidity at the $2.10 level, where order blocks have prompted big moves in the past. What happens at that level is critical. A bearish breakout could push it to the $2 support and below the 200-day EMA, the most critical support to watch. But if the price bounces, we could see a move back to the 200-day EMA and then towards the $2.3 level. This is a textbook setup for traders with clear entries and targets. I'm telling you, the tension is building and the coiled spring is about to release. So, to bring it all together, we have a legal battle that is closer to resolution than ever before, with a legal expert predicting a ruling from Judge Torres perhaps as early as this week or next. And simultaneously, we have a slew of fundamentally powerful catalysts for XRP, its new stable coin, its adoption by major payment networks, its regulatory wins in key regions, and the launch of CME futures that the market has inexplicably, foolishly downplayed. This isn't just about speculation, my friends. This is about a convergence of events that could ignite a parabolic move for XRP. The quiet accumulation, the underpriced fundamentals, the imminent legal clarity, it all points to one thing. XRP is primed for a significant breakout. I'm beyond excited for what's coming, and I hope you are too. Before we sign off, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy who loves crypto and sharing my passionate, sometimes very strong, opinions with you. Always do your own research. Always understand the risks, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. The crypto market is wild, exhilarating, and can be unpredictable. But with the right knowledge and a clear head, you can navigate these waters like a pro. So what are you waiting for? If you got value from this video, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to the Gold Rush Crypto Daily, and turn on those notifications so you're always ahead of the curve. And don't forget to check out our other videos linked in the description and on the end screen for more market-moving analysis. Until next time, stay golden, stay hungry, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's get this gold, baby.